People ask me all the time, what is the secret to making money while you sleep? And I tell them there is no secret. There is only sanity repeated until it becomes wealth. But nobody wants to hear that because sanity is boring and boredom does not sell. The modern investor has been infected with a peculiar delusion. They think passive income means downloading an app, clicking a few buttons, and watching money appear. What they are really looking for is magic, and magic has never existed in the history of capitalism, no matter how many gurus promise otherwise. I have watched the same stupidity dress itself in new clothes every decade, different costumes, same circus, and the same fools paying admission. Let me be brutally clear about something. If someone is selling you a passive income system, they are making their income from you, not from the system. The real passive income earners are too busy compounding to bother teaching courses about it. Here is what actually works. And it is so simple it might disappoint you. You take money you do not need immediately, you buy ownership in businesses that produce things people actually want, and then you sit there like a stone Buddha while time does the work. That is the whole game. But the average person cannot do this. Not because they are stupid, but because they are human, and humans are wired for action, for novelty, and for the illusion of control. Sitting still feels like surrender, so they tinker, trade, optimize, and slowly destroy the only advantage they ever had, which is time. Passive income is the dividend check that arrives whether you are awake or asleep, sick or healthy, smart that day or stupid. It is the rent payment from a tenant or the royalty from a patent. These things have one quality in common: they do not require your daily participation. But the irony is that building true passive income requires enormous activity up front. You have to earn money, which is not passive. You have to learn to spend less than you earn, which requires constant discipline. You have to study businesses until you can separate the durable from the temporary, and then comes the hardest part: you have to do nothing for decades while everyone around you is doing something. The problem with modern investing advice is that it is designed to keep you busy. Busy people trade more, traders pay more fees, and fees make advisors rich while making clients poor. Once you understand you own a piece of a business, the daily price becomes irrelevant noise. True passive income is what happens when you stop confusing price with value. The market does not pay you for feeling smart, it pays you for being right, and being right usually looks embarrassingly simple. The best ideas are always simple. We buy good businesses at reasonable prices and hold them forever. A child could understand that, but adults somehow cannot execute it. An investor who does nothing for 5 years feels like they are failing even if their net worth doubled. Meanwhile, the trader who made 100 moves feels accomplished, even though they are poorer after fees and taxes. That is the dirty secret about passive income. The passive part is not about the money, it is about your ego. You have to be passive enough to let reality work without interference. If you want real passive income, stop chasing innovation and start owning consistency. Innovative companies might make founders rich, but consistent companies make shareholders rich, slowly and reliably. The best passive income investments are probably in industries you find dull. If it excites you, it is probably exciting everyone else too. Stop thinking about making money and start thinking about owning money-making machines. A dividend stock is not a ticker symbol. It is a factory producing cash. A rental property is not just real estate, it is a tenant paying your bills. Once you see investments as machines, you stop fidgeting with them. Passive income is not about avoiding all risk. It is about avoiding unnecessary risk. It is not a product you buy, it is a behavior you adopt. You live below your means, you invest the difference, you reinvest the returns, and then you keep doing nothing while compounding does everything. It will not make you rich next year, but in 30 years, you will wake up wondering how you accumulated so much while barely trying. The greatest destroyer of wealth is not market crashes, it is fees. Fire your financial advisor, take that money, and invest it in a low-cost index fund, then never look at it again. Real passive income is rare, because real passivity is rare. The less I did, the richer I got. The real secret to passive income is not finding better investments. It is controlling your desires. Every dollar you do not spend is a worker you can send out into the world to earn more dollars. Every unnecessary purchase is a worker you fired before they could compound. Avoiding stupidity is easier than achieving brilliance. We got rich because we avoided being idiots for longer than most people can manage. If you did nothing for the next 5 years, would you be richer or poorer? If the answer is richer, then you have figured out what most people never will. Spend less than you earn, invest in quality, and then do nothing for as long as you possibly can. It is just math left undisturbed by human stupidity. Boredom compounded over decades beats excitement scattered across years every single time. Peace.